Hello friends, Becky Bridgham here with our last video of our summer shape up series. I'm super excited about this. Whole week has been really fun. I feel like it's been informative. It's been fun for me to come and share with you all. And I've gotten some really good feedback from people like, hey, I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing this. This was helpful. So that makes me happy. And I hope that it is helpful for you. So today we're talking about surviving summer eating, summer social eating, more specifically, because in all year round, this is a challenge for us, but even more so, I think sometimes in the summertime and then in the holidays, when there's lots of social gatherings, you have graduations, you have birthday parties, you have vacations, you have just more time spent with other people. Why? Because it's beautiful outside. It's such a great season. There's holidays, July 4th, so many fun reasons to gather with friends. And the whole goal of this video and the whole goal of the things that I'm going to share is not to restrict you. Like you feel like every time you go to a social event, you're like, oh, I can't eat anything. It's to have a plan so that when you go, you can enjoy yourself within the framework of your goals. Because if you're continually sabotaging yourself on the weekends, on, wine night, on brewery day, on, birthday party day, those sabotage moments are derailing your progress, because you can eat well all week long. And I actually meant to bring a wipe off board so I could show this visually. But say you're meeting your goals, 5 days a week. But then on Friday and on Saturday and on Sunday, you're overeating by 1,000, 2,000 calories. You're just breaking even at the end of the day. If you do all the math, right? We would love our bank accounts to reset every morning, right? We would love our calories to reset every morning. And yeah, they do in our tracker, but the reality is in our body, if we're overeating by 1,000 calories, 2,000 calories, that carries with us. It carries with us to the next day. Just like the progress that we make by eating at a deficit, hitting our protein goals, moving our body, that carries through. So we want to have more days where we're meeting the mark, so that those exceptions, when we have those social events, yes, we can indulge more than normal, but it has to be the exception. When that becomes the rule, you're not going to make the progress that you want, and you might actually go in the opposite direction. You might start gaining weight, losing muscle, losing energy, and that none of us want that, right? So I'm going to share a couple strategies to navigate social eating in the summertime, and you can use these all year long, but some of the examples are specific to summertime situation. So first thing is to have a plan. Have a plan and then stick to the plan. Sometimes that's the harder part, but say you're going to be going out to eat with friends. You can preview a lot of menus before you even get there. Sometimes I'll go and I'll look, I'm like, what are my options here? What are going to be a couple of my good choices? So I know before I get there, and I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to be present with people, staring at the calorie count on the menu, or sometimes they don't have the calorie count on the menu. I know ahead of time. Now, most restaurants will do that, a handful won't. Mom and pop restaurants, smaller chains, or again, we're going to talk about going to social events like parties where there's definitely no calories on the menu. But if you have that option to really look ahead, make a smart choice. Make a choice that fits within your plan. And that goes back to when you're tracking your food, you have your goals for your calories and your protein. You can look at your whole day. So for example, if we're going to be going out to eat for date night, and I want to save some calories for, a glass of wine and a really good meal when I can drink wine, I'm going to adjust the rest of my day to make up for that, right? And maybe instead of having, 2 snacks that day, I'll just have 1 snack, or I'll cut my breakfast by 50 calories or my lunch by, not a ton, but those little bits do add up to kind of make that eating out fit in my day as much as possible. So make your plan and then stick to the plan. Also have a plan for your beverages. If you like wine, if you like seltzers, if you like cocktails, slushy drinks, a lot of times they will have the calories on the menu, or know what you like that fits in your budget. So that could be some of the lower calorie drinks like the White Claws, the Michelob Ultras, know how many ounces of wine are in the calories, vodka sodas, there's definitely options if you want to indulge in a tasty beverage that can fit into your plan. What you don't want to do is go out and get the tub of margarita that's literally 5,000 calories and one, eat all that sugar, drink all that alcohol, feel like crap the next day, right? Not just because of the alcohol, because of the sugar. A lot of times when we feel like we're hungover, it's really the food and the salt and the sugar and the fat, sometimes not even the alcohol. So making a plan for your food, making a plan for your beverages will help you. And then try to stick to that. If you say, hey, I'm going to have 2 White Claws, stick to your 2 White Claws. And we're going to talk about why, how to kind of put some power behind that resolve a little bit toward the end, but try to do your best, to make the plan and stick to it. Okay. Also hydrating. If you are going to a barbecue, a big dinner, a night out, a brewery, drink a ton of water beforehand. So you're hydrated. You're not getting there dehydrated, having your first beer. And then you're like, screw it. I'll eat whatever I want because now I'm, half in the bag. Hydrate beforehand and hydrate there. You can always order a glass of water with your drink, with your meal. Try to finish that. In the course of your day. A lot of times people recommend 1 for 1, like 1 drink and 1 glass of water. It's also good for your dental hygiene, right? If you're drinking red wine, one of our friends always had the tip of swishing with water between glasses or between sips because it does stain your teeth. So that's a bonus, right? For hydrating during your meals. Second thing is to mitigate the damage. Okay. So if you know you're going to go overboard, like say, for example, it's your anniversary. You don't want to be like, I can't eat anything. That's crap. Okay. You can fit this. It's like a budget. You can fit a vacation in your budget, just like you can fit a fancy, delicious meal in your food budget if you plan for it. But you want to mitigate the damage. So what I mean by that is instead of, going to the barbecue and saying like, oh man, Susie made her famous, 7-layer bars. They're my favorite. I'm going to have one because I love them. It's going to make me feel satisfied. It's going to make me happy. I'm going to have one. You don't need to have 7. You don't need to have 10 drinks. You don't need to have 3 hamburgers and 2 hot dogs, right? You can go there, have a good time, eat some good food that's maybe out of your norm without overdoing it, right? You're already going to be over on calories, more than likely. Eating out in social events are usually going to kind of break that cap, but you want to like mitigate as much of the damage as possible by keeping in check, still enjoying it. This is not about, restricting your life so you never can have fun ever again. It's having fun within the framework of the plan and then also minimizing any long-term effects, right? On your calories, on your energy, and on your health. You can have a treat without making it a feast, okay? Third thing, and this is something that like I get a little passionate about because it annoys me. It annoys me. I think it's obnoxious. Is don't be a food martyr. And what I mean by that is you've all heard this, I am sure, where you're at an event and there's like someone who's on, keto or Whole30 or on some kind of special restrictive diet and like, oh, I wish I could have cake, but it's not a Whole30. Or, oh, you're so lucky that you can just eat that. I can't have it though because, I'm doing Weight Watchers. And trust me, all these plans, I'm not bashing Weight Watchers, it's a great plan. Keto, Whole30, they're all great plans. I'm just saying people will use it to like martyr themselves to be like, oh, woe is me. I can't have that. That's obnoxious. Nobody needs to know what you can and cannot have. Okay. It just makes you look whiny. So nobody needs to know. I would say you do you know your goals, you know what works for you, you eat your healthy food. You don't have to share it with everyone, what you can and can't have or what you're doing. Now, you can be proud of your healthy choices. Like the mindset is I get to fuel my body with nutritious food that's going to make me feel good. I get to do that. Not, oh, I can't have this. Okay. I get to make good choices. I get to feel energetic tomorrow. I get to not have a hangover. Like you're making good, healthy choices. You can be proud of that without making it sound like your life is over because you're not going to have a 3rd slice of cake. So I know that that's, a little bit, maybe that might push a button or two, but it just annoys me. Don't do it. Okay. Fourth thing is balance those extra calories with extra movement. So if you know you're going to have an anniversary dinner, you're going to go to a birthday party, you're having bunko night, and you know you're going to have a couple glasses of wine, go for an extra walk that day. Add an extra 15 minutes onto your cardio. Do an extra yoga session or a couple push-ups or sit-ups in the morning. Add some extra movement to balance the extra food that you're going to have. And again, that goes back to balance. It's all about balance. It's not restriction. It's being smart about enjoying your life, but also doing it in a way that's going to stick with your goals for your health and your wellness. Okay. Add in movement to your social activities. So say you have friends who like to go to a brewery. Say, hey, let's go hike. Let's go for a hike in this certain town, and then we'll hit a brewery after, right? Let's go walk a trail and then go get our appetizers and cocktails. Or if you're going to a social event, bring some games, bring some cornhole lawn games, some fun things that get you up and moving and add movement into those social events. One, it's just fun. And two, it beats sitting on a lawn chair for 5 hours, just shoving your face full of food. Okay. So put in some extra movement in your day, or put some extra movement into your social activities, and it will actually help with your digestion too. You won't leave feeling like, that pain feeling of like, oh, I overdid it, and now I'm going to have heartburn and indigestion for 3 days, right? Put some extra movement in there. That will help balance some of that social eating. And another thing is, remember what you're there for. So when you're going to, your girls' night out, you're going to your best friend's daughter's first birthday party, like these are spectacular events. It's about the people and the connection. It's not about the food and the beverages, right? So when you are there to be present, to be connected, to like really enjoy time with people, focus on that more than how many donuts you're going to have, how much cake you're going to have, how many, beers you're going to have. Focus on the connection and not on the food, because that's what you're there for. Like, we're social creatures. We need other people. And so if you're there with complete presence, enjoy some food, have a drink, be in the moment more so though. You don't have to hang out by the food. You can grab your snack, go sit over by your friend, and really spend that time with people, not so much worried about what you're eating and what you're not eating. Okay, be mindful of the reason for these social events. Okay, and the last one is reflect on how important your goals are to you. Now, this is going to vary depending on what situation you are in. You might be in weight loss mode. You might be like, hey, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds by the end of the year. And that's important to me because I feel uncomfortable in my body. My doctor said my cholesterol is high. I want to have more energy to play with my grandkids. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel like I'm 50 when I'm 30, right? Why is that goal important to you? And reflect on that when you're standing at the buffet, right? How important is that feeling, that state, that physical, mental, emotional state that you're shooting for? How important to you is that when you're standing faced with your food choices, right? If you bring it back to the why behind the what, why you're choosing healthily, it might change that mindset of how much you're indulging, how much you're eating at these social events, right? It's also going to determine if you're in a weight loss mode or if you're in a maintenance mode. If you're in a maintenance mode, you have a little bit more wiggle with your calories, with your protein. But again, you still should be cognizant of what you're eating. And I would even recommend still track it. Like if you're using a food tracker, like the First Form app, and you're putting your food in so you know you're hitting your goals, and you go out and you have 2 glasses of wine and a plate of tacos, put it in your tracker. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, you're going to see literally how much you had. So like, okay, I went over by 700 calories. Now I know tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to make sure I hit my goals for the rest of the week so that I can balance out that evening. If you avoid putting in your tracker, it's almost like we have this mindset like, well, I don't put it in, it doesn't count. Girl, it counts. It counts. It will all of a sudden count on your hips and your thighs, in your belly area. It counts. So not putting in your tracker is not a way to disappear the calories, but it will help change your mindset. You're like, okay, maybe next time I'll have 1 glass of wine because I can see, I went over by so much, right? So keep putting it in your tracker will help change that behavior so it doesn't become a slippery slope. That's what I wanted to say also is, this is not about like, I'm never going to eat birthday cake again because I'm on a fitness plan. The goal is so that you can have the cake and still enjoy a healthy lifestyle too, right? But it's a slippery slope when you have 3 or 4 social events a week sometimes, but depending on, what your calendar looks like. We're like, okay, I have 3 events this week. I really need to watch it, because all of a sudden, if you're overdoing it repeatedly, that's your new pattern. Your healthy eating isn't your pattern. The overindulging is. And that's when we start to gain and start to lose energy and just not feel good, right? That's the whole goal. So last thing is, don't grace yourself out of growth. I have friends who are like, I deserve this. Like, I deserve this glass of wine because I had such a hard week, right? We all have hard weeks, girl. Have your glass of wine, have some carrots with it, okay? Have your beer out with your husband, enjoy your time, but you don't have to stop at Taco Bell on the way home. Like, balance it out. Yes, you deserve some good social time, some good connection, but don't grace yourself out of growth. If you're giving yourself too much grace, like, well, I just deserve that donut, and, I earned this because of this, or, I should have this because, we should restrict ourselves. Self-care. It's self-care if I eat, 5 pieces of chocolate. It's not self-care. It's I can't think of a good word that's not super mean. Self-sabotage is what it is when you're overindulging because you think you're treating yourself when you're really harming your long-term health and body. So don't grace yourself out of growth. If you're trying to hit those goals, hit your tracker, hit your protein, hit your calories, hit your movement, drink your water, get your sleep, all our healthy habits, and still have the birthday cake, still have the glass of wine with your friends, connect, have a great summer, have great social activities, but keep it in check with your goals so that by the end of the summer, you feel good. You're not going into the holiday season 10 pounds heavier than when you started the summer. And then you're going to have a whole nother season of eating. And all these tips and tricks you can use all year round. And if you have any questions, if you need any help, let me know, and I'm here to answer or help in any way that I can. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great summer. Bye, friends.